All right, here we are back in the Acer Team Story Cup, game number 2. I'm Rifkin, joined today by my good friend, my good pal, Doom Esports. And spawning here in the upper 12 o'clock location, the central part of Polar Night, it is the Blue Protoss from Axiom, Alicia.
To the south, the southmost position on the map from Mouz Esports. He's currently up 1-0 for his team here. He is hOpe.
Man, I don't know if I was getting trolled one day, but I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to say the E. Because I remember distinctly, Mana came into my chat one day. This was like forever ago, and we were still nobody, so he probably doesn't even remember this. And he's like, excuse me, but you can't put the E, it's just Mouz Sports, okay? Like, just having some fun with it, but... Mouz Sports, Mouz Esports, whatever you want to call them, they're a really good team, and hOpe is a really good player. But one thing I want to talk about, kind of interesting thing brought up in chat while we were between games, questioning, like, why send out Alicia if Crank is the better player? And, you know, you can have your opinions about who's the best player in Axiom, but let's assume for a moment that that's the correct statement, right? Like, it's a far-off statement, it's hard to judge that, but let's pretend for a moment that people view Crank better than Alicia. It makes perfect sense, because you've got Alicia, who's a top-notch Protoss player. If you're going to save Crank for later for the big hitters, you know, like, you gotta knock out hOpe first. Force out, like, you know, Lucifron or Mana to come out next, right? That's when you send Crank in to clean up the big guns, so to speak. But, I mean, again, a lot of strategy comes down to the teams. Whether they view Crank or Alicia as the better players, completely different than whether we view them as the better player. Because the reality is, it's their strategy. It doesn't seem like a lot, and people often forget. But there's so much going on the sidelines of the managers deciding who plays next. This isn't a willy-nilly, like, oh, let's just randomly pick Alicia and throw him out there. There's a lot of thought that goes into these series, and that's what makes the Acer Team Story Cup so fun. There's that third element to the game.
Absolutely. And, you know, Alicia's playing like a badass over here, going for the gateway inside the base, setting up the Cybernetic court in a cool position with that assimilator to block off any type of Ling attacks that would be coming early here. But back on the other side of the field, hOpe is just going for, he went for his pull early in the event that the probe came by to block his hatchery, was not done, so he's now taking that expansion and only produced 2 Lings here to get a little bit of scouting information off on Alicia. You know, Overlords are doing a good job scouting out the fact that early Nexus hasn't been taken, and it is going to see the Zealot will be charging across the field.
Yeah, this is a little bit curious. I'm surprised Alicia didn't go for the cancel. So typically when you go for one gas like this, guys, it's for that quicker Nexus, and we see that Nexus coming down now, but often players they'll start making a Zealot and then cancel it to get the Nexus out a little bit quicker. But instead went and finished it. A little bit curious on that choice, continuing to invest in a second one. Meanwhile, Ling's gonna come on up here and be faced to deal with this Zealot that's angry at the rocks. There you go. Look at chat. Look at chat right now, dude. Mana correcting you on the Mouz Esports. I knew it.
Like I said, it was faint. It was faint. All right.
Oh, I missed first blood. It was supposed to be there. My bad, guys. Too busy looking at Mana. Scumbag Mana ruining the broadcast. No, actually, I actually really like Mana. He's a cool guy. Big shout outs to him since he's hanging out, cheering his team on. All the cool stuff to see. But Overlord spread from hOpe is pretty nice already. He's got them camping outside the base of Alicia. He's going to be able to move in at any given time and see, hey, you've got this tech, not a problem, I can deal with this. And as we saw in game 1, hOpe is a player you can't underestimate, I guess, probably the best way to phrase it.
Well, Link speed on the way, 4 gate in total from Alicia. It looks like Alicia wants to get aggressive here, Rifkin. This Prylon going to be going down to the, up lower south base down there, and I'm curious to see if he's going to try to break down those back rocks.
If he does, he's going to be my hero. I've been talking. If you guys have been on base trade, you've been hearing me for the last, like, since this map was released, that I wanted someone to break down these rocks. But what's actually really cool about this pylon placement is it's really unpredictable. We actually have hOpe moving down here to check it. But this is like one of the least likely expected spots for a pylon to be in. Even trying to apply some pressure, Alicia at the third to draw the attention away. hOpe, however, sees the pylon. He sees the probe, and it's going to get taken out.
And this is very important for Alicia to try to get this probe out of here so he can build an additional pylon, but those Zerglings trying to cut it off. Will it actually survive out of this? One more Ling gonna join it, but it doesn't attack it.
Mothership Core, in the meantime, is just going to town on the hatchery. It's not going to kill it anytime soon, but this thing's going to be about probably half health when it completes, making a further assault even better. But that pylon actually survives, Doom. 3 Zealots warped in to hold the position on this. And this is actually critical, because if he warps in another 4, walking northward, taking out that third base, that will not be a problem.
Back behind this here, Alicia's adding in a warp prism, so pylon won't matter. Couldn't be warping into the main base while he's attacking at this third location.
Look at the Zealots, though. There's so little surface here for these Lings to connect. This is like the perfect pylon placement. There's no way for them to connect to more than one Zealot at a time, and Alicia's going to hold this quite nicely. Pylon's now going to finally go down, of course, but wow, I can't believe he's going to get so many more kills out of this than he should have.
Alicia's got to be careful with the motion of court getting peppered away by these queens. Queens now making it to that third hatchery, which, as you mentioned, about halfway life. So behind this here, Immortals are being built for Alicia. The Roachborn has been built, though, for Hope, and is going up to that lair tech. No evolution chambers down yet, so you're not going to see an exact tech path, but with that third base, we got to be thinking that's got to be Alicia's focal point here from this point on in the game. But like just as I said that here, War Prism moving into the main base to the south.
Oh, man. This is going to be a little bit unfortunate because Hope is, of course, across the map with his links at the moment. Nothing at home. So forced to pull the drones immediately. If he's not careful, these Zealots will get a lot of kills. Looks like he's going to use the drones on hold position to try and protect the Queen. I love this move. But, of course, Alicia with some great focus fire. Actually, yeah, just forget it. I'll just kill the drones. Whatever. Not a big deal. Zealot's still in hold position, sadly, as the Lings come in, so not paying too much attention to that as he tries to keep the War Prism alive. Of course, the War Prism is the most important part of this, but drones now being stacked, Zealots being attacked, some great actual positioning here, and the Queen finally getting back into the fight. Roach gonna get out here too. Only 8 workers killed so far, but, you know, for a Zealot hit like this, not too bad.
It will eventually get cleaned up, and it did kill a couple of drones. I guess if it got 8, and that's actually pretty good, you know, trade-off, and considering only sacrificed about four Zealots in that total. But
Alicia, however,
here, Alicia's got 7 gates, I believe.
Well, dude, not only that, but he just warped in a lot of Zealots right outside the base of Hope. Sorry to cut you off, but like, there's not a lot of sentries. There's not a lot to protect this. This is Zealots and Immortals. They're gonna have to chew through the Zealots that will act as the force fields.
Ooh, here we go. Coming from both sides is Hope. Good force fields, actually, though, for the limited amount that are available. That sentry is going to fall.
The Roach is going to go down.
Though.
The Time Warp is too good, and the Zealots are going to push forward. Hope is in a really tough bind right now. He doesn't have enough units to defend currently. Oh, no. Yeah, hold position once again. The Zealots kind of walking around, but cool moves out of Hope. Are they cool enough, though? The Roach is coming from the main, but there's only 4 of them, and there's still 2 Immortals standing. There's not enough Lings out in the field. I fear a good game is called. A quick tap out at Hope, and Alicia will even up the series 1-1.
Yep, that Warp Prism micro there was really interesting from Alicia. Very conscious of the fact that Hope was trying to focus that down with the Queens. As he was moving, the Queens continued to chase it. Of course, that took away attack damage from the focus attack from Hope, or the focus defense there from Hope. And he really just didn't have enough units to defend against that. You know, that playing games in the motion court at the third base as well. So well done by Alicia. The distraction tactics moving into that concerted 7-gate push, and Axiom ties it up here, Rifkin, 1-1.
Yeah, and again, we're just going to run some ads between each of the series, or each of the games today, guys. So, at the request of TJokas, I'm going to try and time this out, not with an audio cube, but with a video cube of me waving my arms like a wacky, wild, inflatable man. We'll see if that works.